Kill was directed by Nikhil Nagesh Bhatt and stars Lakshya in his film debut and tells the story of Amrit, a commando who is on a train to New Delhi in order to get to his girlfriend and to derail a marriage that she might be having soon. However, the train is boarded by a bunch of bandits who suddenly get extremely violent and start to harm people, and now Amrit has to step in and take them all on, and it leads to a extremely violent and brutal movie. You know what hit me recently, that when it comes to this channel, there are a lot of movies that I've talked about when it comes to, releases from Hollywood and all that, but my own neck of the woods, India, I don't always talk about a lot of movies from there. I need to change this. I need to start talking about more movies that are being made by my folks. I don't know if everyone knows this, but like new subscribers, I was born and raised in India. This, what you're hearing right now, comes later because I moved out at one point. But I always root for stuff, obviously, which is coming from Bollywood or just Indian cinema in general. And so going into this movie, I was quite excited because I really wanted to see what they'd cooked up. And also because when it comes to advertising for movies from India, I don't often see a lot internationally, but I have seen a lot for this. This movie has gotten a lot of buzz and attention, and so I was very excited in checking it out in that respect as well, and I have to say, having seen it, I am very, very impressed with it. I thought this was awesome. I had a wonderful time with this movie. It is such a brutally violent, action-packed extravaganza, and I had a blast. I genuinely think this is one of the better Bollywood action movies that I have seen in a long time. I mean, this is up there with a few others that I've seen recently, like, stuff like probably Jawan, for instance. But I think one of the good things about this movie, even when compared to that one, is that in this movie, nothing is, specifically cinematic. You know what I mean? It's like there is this sort of aspect to it which you must have seen in other action movies before, stuff like maybe like The Raid, for instance, where, it feels like they're filmed with this gritty, grimier sense to them that makes every impact feel a lot more visceral. And it's a little less stylized in that sense. That was kind of what I'm getting at over here. Because it feels like every hit, every punch, every stab, there is something to it which feels extremely grounded and, realistic. And there is a certain amount of pain that is to every single impact that is represented really well on screen during the action sequences in this movie. And I think Bhatt does a great job of directing those sequences and making those feel that way. It's also shot all in the train, and a train is a very, small space. There's only so much room that you have to work with, and it's very isolated and claustrophobic, especially when you're, separating cars, and a lot of things happen in between cars as well. And so I think it makes really good use of the environments as well in order to make those action sequences really pop. You'll get all the blood and gore that you're expecting to get from this movie in spades. And in that sense, it absolutely succeeds across the front, but where it also succeeds is giving a lot of stuff to the characters who are in the movie. And it helps that there's some really strong performances from everyone involved anchoring it all, especially Lakshya, who I think is gonna get phone calls out the wazoo after this movie comes out, because there is no way he's getting, no offers after this. He is a phenomenal action star in the making, I feel, and having at least seen this, the physicality and the visceralness that he brings to those sequences is really to be commended. But he's also really good as an actor in the more emotional moments of the movie, or even the more character-driven beats when it comes to connecting with others who are on the train, who are trying to just make it out alive and get to Delhi. And when you get to the bandit side of things, when you get to Raghav Ujjwal, who plays Fani, you get a really great character over there too, a really great antagonist to go up against. And they both are really good here. But I also really like that there is an aspect of Fani that makes him somewhat sympathetic. Like, you sort of understand that this is a situation that has been created that wouldn't necessarily exist if things played out differently. And in that sense, the movie also tackles stuff like class differences in society, especially when it comes to the passengers who are, being robbed, and some of those people may be extremely powerful people. And then, of course, you have the thieves on the other side who have been put in a situation that they don't necessarily, want to be in or choose to be in. It's just something that has been placed upon them. There's a scene, in fact, that sort of highlights this. I won't give too much away about what that scene is, but you'll know there's a point where the movie addresses that, and I think it makes for just a really great experience. You get a lot of stuff with the characters too, just to sort of understand where each of them is coming from, and also just to root for them or root against them depending on the scenes that you're watching. And I think that movie does a good job over there too. You get just enough to sort of keep things going with each character. There isn't some external thing happening where it's like, 2 towns over, somebody's monitoring the train and has an whole, side plot going on. It very squarely stays focused on the fighting going on and the people involved in that fighting, and that's about it. Which I think is a very effective thing. Though there are a couple of times they try to give you a little bit more with the characters, and it doesn't go past a couple of things here and there. And because sometimes you try to get some background to things, maybe that could have been there a little bit more, especially because the first bit of the movie, before it really kicks into overdrive, does try to have some of that. That might be my one little issue with the movie, but beyond that, the rest is so great, and the rest is such a great experience that it absolutely needs to be seen by everyone. So I really recommend going in and checking out Kill in theaters. I really hope you guys get to, chance to see it. It's really, really great stuff. And I'm hoping for a lot more stuff like this from Bollywood action going forward. I feel like this has been dubbed as India's most violent action movie. I think a case can be made for it. Absolutely. It is extremely brutal stuff, but it's this well executed. Bring on some more. I'm gonna give Kill a 9 out of 10. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie in the comments down below. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.